I remember the first year I went to I come K State. It was looking for the engineering building. It was a orientation for all the engineering, and I'm looking at that. There's no girls in the class. Like there's just one or two girls. Like mostly it's the guys.
For me, a really, really big influence that my gender has had since the beginning, with pursuing computing was just that I grew up in a pretty like how do I say it? Like gender roles were pretty defined and they were expected to be followed. And so engineering, hard sciences, those weren't really options for me or that I saw for myself for a really long time. And I didn't really have any mentors who were encouraging me and telling me that I could go for those things and I could go for the hard math and the hard science and I can do difficult things and I can do them well. So that was a really big barrier before I even considered this field that I hadn't realized until, of course, I'm in it now.
I come from, okay, a sort of like really predefined gender roles because I am from an Indian family, and I see a lot of like the women in my family either got married off really young or just were like they stopped their education after 10th grade, which is kind of customary in India. That's like 10th grade is the end of your like you take an exam and then either you go into intermediate college, which is like okay, you can start to specialize, but most of them didn't.
Teachers, administrators, counselors in our school districts to not introduce those barriers of race and gender to their students in trying to enter computer science. As soon as a young person encounters that barrier, whether or not a teacher or a parent told a young woman that no, computer science isn't for you. You're better off going into chemistry or English or whatever other field, they turn off from that field, and it's very difficult to get them back into that.
Generally speaking, young men tend to overestimate their ability. They have a stronger self-efficacy, is what we would call, which is a belief in your ability to do computing. Whereas young women often have a weaker self-efficacy, so they don't believe that they can do as well as their peers. The reality is, as a teacher, most of the young women that I've had in classes actually outperformed the young men significantly. And there's probably a lot of different reasons for that. One might be that they feel the need to actually overperform to be able to show that they actually can do it and actually are held to a higher standard.
So I would say that computer science is the most welcoming of all people. I have just been so inspired by the conferences that we've attended where people of all genders and not all races, everybody's welcome. There's no boys club like there are in other, tech type fields.
Once you find out if it's something you really want to do, there are great places to go for schooling or even just, companies who might need something small.
So with the family lore of great grandma or great great grandma Caroline, it's just like there was never that messaging of women can't. There's always been this messaging that you can and will do anything you put your mind towards. And so that's kind of been the main core inspiration, I would say, of like just that strength in myself. And then my parents further nurturing it by letting me explore anything and everything I was interested in.
And then I had a friend who
was designing a website. He does website design and all. At a point, I saw him designing a website and I was fascinated. He taught me how to create a button, and I was like, wow, I can actually create a button, and I'll click on it and it will do something. And that was number one motivation for me. He started teaching me how to create websites, started teaching me about Java, SQL, different kind of things. He said if I would pay him, like, I think then about $5 per hour, he would teach me a lot of things. And from there, I picked interest in computer science and then learned how to code and decided to come pursue a second master's in computer science. And here I am pursuing, like, about to come to the PhD in computer science.
When it comes to computer science, what matters is how much effort you're willing to put in and take accountability for your own learning. Because I learned that very quickly. I was not the best programmer starting out, and well, somehow I'm going into the PhD program now, but I think that the fact that so many people that I know are willing to say that I am smart, even though I commonly deny that myself, is possibly an indicator that what matters is the amount of effort that you're putting in rather than this is where I came from. And where you come from can actually have an effect on not only how you perceive yourself, but also how you choose to approach your education as well.
You know, my family, they're originally from Mexico, so I'm a first generation American as well as first generation like a college student as well.
I'm a white male, which is true. I am a white presenting male, but I am also half Hispanic. And I think that that is something that outside of computer science, I have kind of been struggling with identity in that regard. There's definitely not a lot of Hispanic people at K-State, I think, especially not in areas that I am surrounded in. And so that's, I guess, something to say about diversity.
Reality is, in computer science, almost everything important that is done is being done by teams of people working together, not just computer scientists, but also people outside of our field that we're interfacing with, we're working with, to develop specific solutions for their area. So you're not only learning, having to be able to do the programming side, the software development side, or the data science side, but you also really need to learn and work with other people from diverse fields and bring their expert knowledge into how you're actually helping solve their problems.
You can do this, and if you're interested in it, give it a try. There's nothing wrong with that. You are perfectly capable of it, just like every other person in your classes, regardless of gender. Just that little bit of encouragement would have made a world of difference to me.
There's no limits to the level you can go, no matter your color. Yeah, you can do it. But I think
Okay, whatever you do, whatever you put your mind to, if you get that education, you will succeed.
Take a look back into that mirror. Your diversity is your strength. With diverse people come diverse ideas and diverse changes. With the skills you learn in computer science from Kansas State University, you could be part of influencing the positivity that you want to see in the world.
Take on the world.